Hi, I'm Tyler Gendron. I'd first like to start off with apologizing. I'm a little bit sick today. We'll be talking about gene-edited monkeys. I'll go over a summary of the experiment that was performed, and then I'll touch on some main points. The Institute of Neuroscience, ION, they edited the genes of adult monkeys. The gene that they edited was responsible for regulating sleep cycle. They then cloned 5 almost genetically identical primates from those adult monkeys. They plan to create large populations the same way they created these 5 almost identical primates. It would be very important for studying diseases. We'll go into that in the following couple minutes. So first of all, it's very important to realize that primates, they are very similar to humans as far as DNA goes. They have many of the same genes, and this is very important for studying neurological diseases. They also have a lot of the same traits as humans. These include brain function, and they have opposable thumbs. That's one of the physical traits that we share in common. So it's very important that we study an animal that is very similar to humans, so that way we can closely relate the traits and genes relationship between the primates and humans. So, ION, they plan to create large populations, like I said before, of these genetically identical primates. They'll have the same gene edited or disabled, and this leads to the reduction in the primates required to study a disease, because they know that the disease is, or trait that they're observing, is being caused by the gene that was edited and not by a variance in the DNA of the primate. Many of the primates that they had in the original sample size, they had other variances besides the genetically manipulated gene. And this could be cause for the sleep disorder that they were observing. So to have monkeys that are identical in DNA, it really reduces the question of what's causing the trait that we're observing. So it really leads to the reduction in the sample size that we need. Studying different diseases with identical DNA is very beneficial, because we can treat as well as come up with possible cures for the diseases that we're studying. So ION, they've only started off with the sleep disorder gene or trait so far, but they plan on branching out into other traits such as Alzheimer's and even concussions. They're hoping that this will lead to treatments or cures for the sleep disorder that they're studying, as well as many other diseases. Then they're hoping that they can turn their focus on testing it on humans and genetically manipulating humans' DNA to prevent things like Alzheimer's and sleep disorders. So there are problems, though, that they're facing. Those problems, they consist of the United States and Europe. They have laws against genetically manipulating DNA. They view this as inhumane in humans and primates and any animal, so they don't allow that. But ION, they're based in Shanghai, China, so they plan to create these populations and then hopefully distribute them to companies in the US and Europe. There's also groups that oppose this. One of the main groups that opposes this is the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. And then also, creating the 5 clones is very costly. ION itself took 325 primates to create the 5 genetically identical primates. and it cost them over $500,000. So they're hoping in time that the cost will go down and that it'll require less primates. But as for now, it's very costly. So to kind of sum up the experiment that happened, Ion, they cloned the 5 almost genetically identical monkeys, and they plan to create large populations with identical DNA, so that way they can study the cures and treatments and hopefully make it cheaper and use less primates to do so. These populations, then, they're hoping that they can distribute to other scientists across the world to help them study different diseases as well. They're hoping that the cost goes down, and that's what they're really estimating. But as for right now, they're going to continue studying the sleep disorder in the 5 primates, and they're going to study the effectiveness of disabling and cloning primates. So they're hoping to make large populations and make more advancements in neurological science. So thank you very much.